At the beginning of the film, we see a Metroid landing on a mountain forest from the Espanche. Then the scene cuts to show us a deer inside the forest, which by now was badly wounded in a scene. Just then, before we could shock about what happened to it, we saw from behind a tentacle growing toward it, and on that tentacle many smaller tentacles attacked the deer and killed it. And actually here we get a reveal that the Metroid which fell down came with an alien on the ground. Now the scene shifts and we are shown a couple, Ruth and Harry, moving toward the same mountainous forest. On the way, they talk and note. They continue their journey again, and while walking in the forest, many times Ruth feels like someone is following her. Several times she turns back to look but no one is there. While walking, evening comes as well. They cook again, set up their tents and sleep. In the middle of the night, Ruth's eyes open again. Hearing a strange noise, she goes outside to see a deer standing at the edge of the forest staring at her. It was staring at Ruth in such a strange way that Ruth was also disturbed seeing it. Suddenly, someone puts his hand on her shoulder from behind. She gets very scared, but it was Harry. Seeing Harry, she relaxes a bit. Nervous, Ruth tries to tell Harry everything, that first she woke up because of a noise, and in the forest an odd deer with a broken horn was staring at her and now it had disappeared, but Harry is not convinced by any of her words. They now start continuing their journey again, and Harry takes Ruth to a special place in this forest by the seashore. It was a very beautiful place, and here Harry proposes to Ruth. Ruth should have been happy, but here she tries to keep herself normal. The situation between them becomes quite awkward and they come back to the forest and camp. They decide they will leave here the next morning. For a long time, both remain silent. "Why did you do that, Harry? Why did you need to propose to me?" Hearing this, Harry gets angry because they had been together for the last 8 years. Ruth should have been happy, but she was angry at him. Anyway, ignoring all these feelings, Ruth falls asleep. When she wakes up in the morning, she sees Harry was not there. He had left a note that he was going for a walk and would return soon. While looking for a signal, she reached a place where she found the same dead deer that was shown repeatedly in the movie. The strange thing was that after meeting it, the deer was completely covered with some black liquid and its face looked burnt. She starts having panic attacks again, and Harry comes there and consoles her. Ruth says this is the same deer that was staring at me. Harry consoles her and says, "Ruth, it's not like that. There are many deer in this forest, and looking at this corpse, it seems." They come to their cafe and start extracting more information from books related to the forest, and Harry confirms that definitely the deer died due to some illness. Harry also assures her that there is no danger here. Now Harry starts cooking for Ruth, and Ruth herself goes for a walk. While walking, she notices a cave. As she comes in front of the cave, she feels a strange feeling as if the cave was compelling her to enter. She goes inside the cave and inside the cave she sees a blue liquid freezing. Before Ruth could touch that liquid, someone appears whom we are not shown, but upon seeing him, Ruth screams loudly and the scene cuts from here. Who had been waiting for Ruth for quite some time, but when after hours of waiting Ruth does not return, he goes to look for her. In the forest, he finds Ruth, but now her behavior had become very strange. There was no expression on her face at this time. In the middle of the night, when Harry's eyes open again, he sees that Ruth was not there. He gets scared and with a light goes outside to look for Ruth. Ruth replies that she heard animal noises in the forest. She thought an animal was going to attack them, so she came with a knife to kill it. Harry looks carefully and says there was no animal here, so she should put her knife. Harry tries to talk for many hours, but Ruth was completely silent. Harry finally falls silent too, and after a long time, Ruth breaks the silence again and says, "I am sorry. What I did to you, I shouldn't have done that. Come again to the same place and propose to me where you did it yesterday." Hearing this, Harry gets happy and takes her to the same place. He proposes again exactly the same way, and as soon as he puts the ring, Ruth does something very intense here. After that, Ruth starts running away and suddenly falls while running. Ruth sees that in the same forest, another couple had come for camping, who notices Ruth and asks, "What happened to you?" These people tried many times to ask Ruth what actually happened to you. "Why are you silent?" But Ruth remained silent always. Suddenly, Ruth took out her knife. All three got scared. There we see Harry coming, walking as if nothing had happened to him. Not to mention dying, not even a scratch was on his body. Finally, when these people also saw Harry, Ruth got scared and ran away from here. The man's wife also gets scared and runs after Ruth, and Harry now walks calmly behind them. He was now going to kill this man's wife, and Ruth knew that. After that, he points the same knife at Ruth and asks how she knew the truth about me. And here the twist reveals that this Harry standing before Ruth was not a human but an alien. Along with that alien, we see too. She says, when I went for a walk, I saw a cave inside which was a blue liquid. Suddenly inside the same cave I noticed Harry's body, which was in the same condition as well. Actually, the alien here can take anyone's form along with their memory and feelings. Now we see Ruth immersed in thought and running away from here. She did not understand at all what to do. She started having panic attacks again. She had gotten up to kill Harry, but she could not. When she was with Harry all night in the tent, she did not blink for a minute because she felt that whatever this was in Harry's form, it was going to harm her. She planned to kill him, and for that plan, she took him to the cliff under the pretense of proposing and pushed Harry off the cliff, but it was not Harry. If he were human, he would have died, but he was an alien who revived and went after him again. Here we learn the story of the alien site, that actually these aliens go to every planet which they find suitable for their people to live on. There they call their colonies and start living on those planets. But a strange thing that she experienced first time in life was that this planet had an emotion called love, which she had never experienced before because she had absorbed all of Harry's emotions inside herself. But the alien says nothing to her, keeps healing itself again and again. He only wants Ruth to treat him lovingly this time so that he can enjoy this feeling better. He thus sweetly soothes Ruth and takes her far away from here. Showing her his alien powers, he says, "Come with me. Soon more of my aliens will come here, and once they arrive, they will kill humans and this world will be theirs." Her whole attention this time was on the water where there was a shark. A plan came to his mind, so he quickly stabbed his knife into the alien's body and escaped into the water. Blood began to flow from the alien's body and the smell of blood. Here she ate a little food to stop her panic attacks and took a pill, while on the other side we see that alien was still not dead. That alien actually killed the shark and then his torn body. But he did not know that killing a human does not mean he can possess them. He thinks, why not leave Harry's body and enter Ruth's body? Therefore, he catches Ruth, wraps her in a cocoon and tries to kill her. At this time, Ruth was having panic attacks, and the alien felt the feeling of panic attack and got very scared. But at this time, Ruth had run out of all pills and the alien could not take the anxiety medic. She escapes from this forest. Taking her vehicle, she had left the forest. But from behind, it is shown that the alien had healed again and in Ruth's shape. Now on the vehicle's radio survey, he again CH. We are shown that many alien ships are crashing inside that mountain forest. As that alien said, now his entire colony had come here and soon they would kill humans and take control of this earth.